race that I do want to talk to you about, and that is the Florida governor race. Charlie Crist specifically, first and foremost, who he chose to pick as his running mate. Miami-Dade County Teachers Union President Carla Hernandez. That's certainly sending a signal, it seems, Jennifer, that he wants to focus his campaign on education. What did you make of that pick?
Yeah, I think that's very strategic. He's also making a statement that he is no longer conceding any of the Hispanic vote to Republicans. They made some headway, as you recall, in 2020. And he is basically saying, I'm playing for keeps. He gave a really step-winder of a speech when he accepted, your viewers are seeing that now, he accepted after really a very impressive win, much larger than people expected in the primary on Tuesday. And he basically is going to take it to DeSantis. He is talking about DeSantis systematically taking away the freedoms of the people of Florida, and that he really, I think, is going to broaden it, not just an issue of access to education, teachers' rights to speak to their students frankly about all sorts of subjects. So he has not gotten the memo that this is supposed to be a losing cause. He is clearly going to try to really bring the fight. And the initial polling showed that he's frankly pretty close. He's only 5 points away from DeSantis. So if DeSantis thought this was going to be a cakewalk, I think he's wrong.
Well, I tell you, so a lot of folks I've been speaking to, not necessarily optimistic for Charlie Crist, considering DeSantis' popularity in that state, and the fact that it doesn't seem like Florida is reliably a swing state anymore as it once was. All of that being said, you in fact did right. Crist has this rare opportunity to knock a would-be presidential candidate off track, and that Crist called this the most consequential race in the history of the state. And we have played this soundbite over and over again in which Charlie Crist says he is going to campaign on love, running on love, as he said. What do you make of that messaging?
He's really cementing the image that DeSantis is a bully, and he called him a bully on Tuesday evening. And I think Crist obviously wants to win. Democrats obviously want to win. But the problem from DeSantis' point of view is it's not good enough to win by 5 points. He has to demolish Crist in order to make the argument that he's super elected, super popular. And if the race is close, he in essence gets a big question mark over any kind of presidential run. So I think he may have anticipated a coronation for a second term. And he does remain the favorite. There's no doubt about that. But I think it's going to be a competitive race, and that, I believe, he was not expecting.
So one more thing, Jennifer, I want you to weigh in on, and that is the Pennsylvania gubernatorial race, but it's not necessarily what you think I'd be asking. It's that picture that has been circulating about Pennsylvania gubernatorial candidate Doug Mastriano, where he is seen wearing a Confederate uniform for a faculty picture 3 years before he retired from the U.S. Army, and this was at the Army War College. It's now since been removed.
This is just bizarre. Someone could be at the American U.S. Army War College and be donning the uniform of the greatest traitors in our nation who took up arms against fellow Americans. And this just, I think, goes to his really off-the-wall and off-the-spectrum kind of radicalism. And if anything speaks to Pennsylvanians, is their history at Gettysburg on behalf of the Union. So this is just one more reminder that he is really not a Pennsylvania kind of guy. He's some other kind of creature. I don't imagine that he's all that thrilled that this picture is out and about.
Thank you. And by the way, tomorrow, guys, Charlie Crist himself is going to join me in the 3 hour to talk about what it's going to take to bring down Governor DeSantis this November. We'll be right back.
The unknown is not empty. It's a storm that crashes into souls, replacing thought with worry. But one thing can calm uncertainty.
This is Joe. Side effects for injection site reaction, joint pain, urinary tract infection, diarrhea, chest cold, pain in legs or arms, and shortness of breath. With Lekia, low-dose of mescaline does just one more thing.